have something very interesting to show you. I would go as far as saying this is one of its kind. So welcome to my DJI Mavic 3 Classic review. But wait a minute, there's already two other Mavic 3 models out there. Everyone knows that DJI announced these drones a while back as the most anticipated drones since the Mavic 2 Pro. Yes, but the devil is in the detail, as the Mavic 3 Classic will be the first drone in the world to carry the long-awaited class identification label right out of the box. And I'm happy to inform you it's classified as a C1 drone under the new EU drone regulations. No one will doubt that you will get superior camera performance with the Mavic 3 drone, as we have seen countless examples so far. And with the same Micro Four Thirds sensor at 20 megapixels, the Mavic 3 Classic will deliver the same. So the only real difference is the lack of the half-inch sensor telephoto lens. So you have to settle with digital zoom with the Mavic 3 Classic. A C1 classified drone makes a big difference in urban areas, as you don't need to deal with safety zones, as long as you're not deliberately flying over people. This opens up for some great possibilities, and you will not have to wait until the transition period expires in 2024 to take full advantage of this. You can fly in the A1 airspace as soon as you get your hands on the drone. To be C1 compliant, DJI have been forced to reduce the noise level of the drone to the required 83 decibel, as well as limit active track to 50 meters between the drone and subject. This 50-meter limit for active track is not without issues. You very easily lose the drone and then it just sits there while you're driving off in the sunset. But I take that any day to be able to fly a drone like this in the A1 airspace. I still have my Mavic 2 Pro. It's mainly reserved for client work and for taking photos. But lately I haven't been flying it so much in urban areas because this is classified as a legacy drone and it's only allowed in the A2 airspace, where a horizontal safety zone of 50 meters is required, which often makes it quite difficult to do what I'm set out to do. I normally end up bringing my Mini 3 Pro instead because it's below 250 grams. The DJI Mini 3 Pro is a brilliant drone with unprecedented performance in the sub 250 gram segment. But listen, it's like a trusty family car. And if you want to win the race, this might not be the right choice when showing up for client work. The Mavic 3 series is more like a full-blown classic sport car that is faster, better looking, more stable, and has a variable aperture that will allow you to adjust the amount of light while you're in flight. With a high resolution of 5.1K high video bandwidth, it will take something like an Xpire X5 to outperform the video performance. Does size matter? Yes, according to the weather girl, if a storm is coming. Having a drone with a larger propeller span and stronger will help you produce more stable footage in windy conditions, and it will minimize your risk of losing the drone. The Mavic 3 Classic is listed as a level 6 wind performance on the Beaufort wind scale, and it will probably perform even better when you fly it in real life, as we have seen with some of the other DJI drones. If you're upgrading from the Mavic 2 Pro, it's basically a no-brainer, as the weight is slightly less and it occupies around the same space when they are folded. The camera and the drone is very well protected by a harness. It's not as small as the Mavic 3 Pro, but the foldable design still makes it compact, so it should be easy enough to bring along. For that purpose, the back of the Fly More combo is really nice and roomy. You can leave the sticks on the remote while you store it, and there's still plenty of space for the rest that you want to bring along. The next thing that I want to share with you is so cool. With the Mavic 3 Classic, DJI introduces something that they call cruise control. And this is exactly what you think it is. It's like cruise control on your car, where you simply set a certain speed and then you can let go of the gas and the car will continue. You just start by flying in one direction, then you press one of the custom buttons, let go of the sticks, and then the drone will continue to fly in that direction. Cruise control helps smooth out the footage like a professional dolly or cable cam. I have been missing this feature since course lock was a part of the intelligent flight modes. And the most cool part is that it also works when you fly in circles. The camera is the crown jewel of the Mavic 3 series. The sensor is the 20 megapixel Micro Four Thirds with a maximum resolution of 5.1K with 24mm equivalent optics, which is a tad wider than the 28mm that we had on the Mavic 2 Pro. The construction and position of the gimbal ensures that there are no props in the shot, even if you move the gimbal above horizontal level. The bigger sensor offers good low light capabilities and provides a night shot mode that will stretch the sensor to the max. You can record in D-Log. That is a 10-bit flat color profile, high video bandwidth of 200 megabit per second that provides 12.8 stops of dynamic range. This will be absolutely candy for people that likes to color grade, as well as help preserve the highlights and dark areas in your footage. This will, if you know what you're doing, make your footage stand out. The camera has amazing slow motion capabilities in 4K up to 120 FPS. This is of course super cool if you want to slow things down a bit. There's no doubt that the smaller drones from DJI offer really good consumer level video quality. But they are all fixed aperture drones without the ability to perform in-flight adjustment of light in combination with slower shutter speed as well as depth of field. Every pro camera out there has variable aperture where you can open and close the iris to control the amount of light entering. This is one of the things that I really like with the Mavic 2 Pro, that you can do tweaks when you are in flight and you're not forced to land the drone in case you need to switch an ND filter. The obstacle avoidance will help protect the drone and even guide the drone around obstacles blocking its path with APAS 5.0. With full 360 degrees obstacle avoidance, you will have a blast with focus track because the drone is fully protected. The focus track controls are different than what I'm used to from the Mini 3 Pro. No more parallel or track options. You select everything from a single control. Focus track is not available above 4K 30 FPS. The obstacle avoidance system works really well, but don't rely on this 100%. It's better to put yourself in situations where you avoid using the obstacle avoidance. Also, I need to point out it requires quite a bit of light for the sensors to be active. So be careful and check the UI when you're flying in areas with close proximity to obstacles. This means that the obstacle avoidance sensors are disabled in night mode. I don't own the RC Pro, but with the Mini 3 Pro, the DJI RC was introduced. It's a budget smart controller with a built-in screen, so there's no need to whip out your phone to fly the drone separately. DJI RC is luckily compatible with the Mavic 3 Classic, and you can buy the RC as part of some of the configurations that you can see here on the screen. With O3, you have a very stable low latency connection between the remote and the drone. You have a theoretical range of 15 kilometers. This is of course US range, as it would be significantly lower in Europe because of the reduced broadcast power under CE. This is not something that I want to test out, and it's not important to me. But what is important to me is that I have a stable, trusted connection between the remote and the drone when I'm flying in heavy Wi-Fi polluted areas. You never have enough flight time when you're out filming on a job. So having a theoretical flight time of 46 minutes seems like a blessing. We know that the real life results, they differ a lot. And you should not expect more than around 70% of the theoretical flight time. At least this is what I'm getting with mixed usage. But it's still a huge improvement compared to some of my other DJI drones. So why would I upgrade from my trusty Mavic 2 Pro? The Mavic 3 Classic is a real C1 drone, and it follows the new EU drone rules. Mavic 2 Pro requires an A2 drone certificate to be able to fly it in EU. And right now you need to attend on an actual course on an approved drone school to obtain that certificate, with the added time and cost involved. To make things even worse here in Europe, when the transition period ends by the end of 2023, the drone is no longer allowed to fly in the Air 2 airspace. It's being abandoned to A3, where you have to keep a horizontal distance of 150 meters away from urban areas, and you are not allowed to overfly uninvolved people. That would put some serious limitations to the use of the Mavic 2 Pro. Mavic 3 Classic offers even better low light performance with the larger Micro Four Thirds sensor. Sharper image and better colors right out of the camera. The Mavic 2 Pro 4K footage always looked a little bit mushy due to various limitations in its camera design. Way longer flight times, almost twice as long, and no more pregnant batteries. It's a known flaw on the previous design, where batteries tend to swell and pop out mid-flight. Support for the new generation of smart controllers, the RC Pro and the DJI RC. Improved real-time 360 obstacle avoidance that will help protect your investment with APAS 5.0. According to my information from DJI, the price will land around the same level as the Mavic 2 Pro. The pricing was not available when recording this video, so I will list it here on the screen. And in case you want to pick one up, there's of course a link in the description below. If you're interested in more information about the Mavic 3 Classic, I will be flying this drone a lot over the next couple of weeks. So let me know if there's anything particular that you want to know about the drone, and I will see if I can include it. So what do you think about the Mavic 3 Classic? let me know in the comments below. Just so we're absolutely on the same page, DJI did reach out to me a couple of weeks ago and asked me if I wanted to do a collaboration and a review of the Mavic 3 Classic. They have provided the sample that I've used in this review, but otherwise they have not interfered in anything what I had to say around the drone. Also, this is the first time I've had a chance to fly a premium product like the Mavic 3. Seen in that light, my impressions might be amplified, but it is a really cool product. If you're new around here, I'm Henrik Olsen, and if you find value in anything that you have heard here today, then consider subscribing to the channel. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you around.